On this week's show, Peloton extends their summer closure for New York and changes to the on-demand library.
Plus, a new virtual track feature on the tread, more people getting form feedback for Guide, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 187 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I am Amanda Siegel, and I am joined this week by my co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John.
Hey, now. What's going on, Amanda?
Nice to have you back.
Thank you.
You had a good weekend. Where were you, up in Michigan?
Up in North Michigan, up in Sheboygan, visiting my best friend from New Jersey and his older brother on the lake.
Oh, nice.
So nice, perfect weather, no humidity. Did some boating. It was nice. It was a nice visit. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's always nice to get away. It was gorgeous in Maryland this past weekend. We just had such a beautiful weekend, and then the whole week it's been raining.
Now it's just turned hot and humid.
Yeah. Well, as we get into August, we know that it kind of isn't so great. It gets kind of hot, but the summer's coming to an end, and it just flies by, right?
Oh, it's August already. We got a good solid month plus of summer, so.
A solid month with limited classes, which we will share with you as we throw it all out to you in this week's show. But folks, before we get started with the news, we always like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button at the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode.
Yes, of course, you can always listen to us. We're on all traditional podcast platforms. So be sure to subscribe and follow us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and leave us those reviews. We always appreciate those 5-star reviews, so keep those coming.
And of course, we are on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us for all of the latest news. And now, John, let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, Peloton has extended their summer closure for Peloton Studios New York, and the studios will now be closed this month, beginning August 19th through just after Labor Day here in the U.S. Until September 4th. So combined with the London studio closure, this means there will be no live Peloton classes at all from either studio from August 28th to September 4th. So this is 9 days more than what was originally announced earlier this year. We had previously shared the running list of studio closures for all of 2024. Peloton had only listed August 26th through September 2nd as the summer studio closure dates. But also note that there will be some live classes from PSL in London during part of this time that PSNY is closed. So PSL is only listed as being closed from August 28th through September 4th. So at least in that little window from the 19th of August to the 28th, if you want to get your live class fix, you can get it from the instructors in London.
Yeah, I get it. Do I get it? I don't know. It's a little frustrating. I do like, we do like those live classes, and that's a long time for them to be closed. I mean, that's definitely the longest that they've ever been closed, right?
For sure. I'm kind of used to it by now.
It gives us the time to catch up on classes.
On demand.
Yeah.
There's always other stuff that I've missed. that gives me a reason to go back a little bit and take. So,
and I think it also gives us a reason to just maybe slow down. I mean, kind of like we spoke about before with those Wednesdays, the fact that there aren't, classes on a Wednesday, you can get those doctor's appointments in and not have to worry about.
Yeah, I know. Wednesday, I just did 2 little 20-minute Cody rides from the previous night. So, just kind of take it easy, give the legs a break, give the legs a little rest.
Yeah. And just take it easy. Well, next up, over the past few weeks, members may have noticed a change in the times and frequencies of which Peloton classes are being loaded onto the on-demand library. This is because Peloton has actually made a significant alteration to when these classes are being loaded live. Most coach-to-camera classes, for example, those that are pre-recorded and then drop straight to the on-demand library rather than taking place live or designated as a premiere, are now being released at midnight Eastern Time. So previously, most classes filmed from PSNY were released either at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., and classes filmed from PSL were released even earlier. In an even more significant change, though, Peloton actually appears to be loading the majority of their live classes into the on-demand library in 3 distinct batches. So for years, live classes have been made available in the on-demand library on a rolling basis, kind of throughout the day, meaning that typically within a couple hours of a class taking place live, it would become more, it would become where we always would
you'd
expect.
You'd see it within an hour or so.
Exactly.
Quicker.
There were always some exceptions, taking a little bit longer that maybe for whatever reason. But as a general rule, members could expect classes to be made available within a couple hours. Well, over the past week or so, we've actually seen classes appearing at 3 different points during the day. So the first batch has been showing up at approximately noon Eastern Time. And those include any classes that took place live between 12 a.m. and 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So pretty much all those really early PSL classes, our German and UK instructors, as well as any of the earlier morning classes here in the States. The second batch appears at approximately 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and those include classes that took place live until around 2 p.m. Eastern Time. However, over the weekend, the 5 p.m. drop only included classes filmed until noon Eastern Time. And then the third and final batch appears between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time and includes the rest of the classes that took place that day, mainly those late afternoon and evening classes. Peloton hasn't officially shared the reasoning behind the behind this new change. We were hoping, though, that at time of recording we would have something a little bit more official from Peloton, but unfortunately, Chris wasn't able to get that for us. We could say that it's potentially another small cost savings that the company is trying to implement. We've seen so many significant changes over the last few months. Yeah. And we could also say that anything can change at any time. So, members, need to kind of look out for that. I think that we should no longer expect live classes to appear in the on-demand library within a couple of hours with this new change. But again, anything can change. Maybe they're kind of trying it out for a little bit and then we'll decide, what they'll do. So, definitely for you and your memes, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer before you can get those cool little clips.
I know.
Ring, bitch.
Well, this explains a lot because there was a Monday night Alex ride I did a week or so ago. And he said something, he gave me a shout out and he said, "Oh, you might be in trouble with those memes." It was after the Robin Arzon meme.
Yes.
The Taylor Swift ride that got so much criticism. And then the ride didn't go up until the next day. And then there was a lot of people speculating that they weren't going to post it because he said that. But which wasn't the case. It was just this long delay, but it had everybody, it had all these rumors people were thinking like, oh, they're not going to post it or they're going to edit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really annoying having to wait till the following day to finally pull that because I wanted to obviously share it. But,
well, I think it's also annoying, like, especially for, the shout out whore that I am, when you get that shout out and you want to you want to pull that clip and now you have to wait
and share it.
Yeah. Well, definitely from a social media perspective, it's frustrating because I always like to kind of, screenshot the thumbnail if I'm posting a class. I always like to put that on there, so that you kind of have to wait. Yeah.
I know.
You have to wait longer.
Probably just a question of, man,
that.
they're probably stretched thin in a lot of different areas and departments.
Well, we know that, they definitely saw a reduction in producers over this renegotiation period and stuff. So maybe
that
that's
obviously factors in.
Well, what they have done, though, is they have introduced a new feature for Tread and Tread Plus, providing a virtual 400-meter track display for Just Walk and Just Run workouts. So this update allows users to visualize their progress on a track, making it easier to keep track of laps and total distance during their workouts. So this would be for folks that are, not going into a specific class with an instructor, but just kind of want to be on the tread, get their mileage in, and just do a Just Run or a Just Walk. So the display shows a yellow circle moving around the track, turning completed sections yellow and the remaining sections white. Users are notified at a halfway point, so around 200 meters. And then, of course, upon completing each 400-meter lap. The feature can be hidden, so if you prefer not to see that, you can certainly go ahead and hide it, but it is only available for no-goal workouts. So just another way to
So when you just select a Just Walk or Just Run.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So
and that there's no goal. And that there's no goal. Yeah. So it would be just for those folks. But another interesting way for
it's kind of a cool image how it shows you just the outline of a track with it highlighting.
Kind of like you would see on a life site, on a life fitness treadmill or, a typical treadmill that you would have in a gym.
Typical graphic.
Yeah.
Well, the form feedback feature on the Peloton Guide has begun rolling out to more members in an expanded beta test phase. So over the past few days, this feature has become available to more Guide owners, but it's still tagged with that beta label that it's in testing, so indicating that it remains still in the test phase. So as was the case when it was initially tested with a small subset of members, the Guide's form feedback feature shows a visual indicator on the screen, a colored circle, and plays a little audio cue if it observes form that requires some adjusting, some modification. A white circle that appears indicates that the form is being analyzed. The gold circle indicates that the form needs attention. And a green circle with a check mark indicates good form. So the member, you have to be in self mode in order to activate that feature, and it is still only available on specific strength movements. So the Peloton Guide Form Feedback feature, it's still only currently available on those certain movement tracker classes, so you won't see it on everything, and also you might not see it at all if you're not, one of those members that has access to it as part of that beta testing.
Beta testing. Yeah.
But good to know.
Well, we did get something new this week. Love Hannah Corbin shared on Peloton Studios Instagram that they are starting a new bar program this week called Set the Bar. So for those folks that love to take bar classes, this Set the Bar is actually a combination of dance and strength training, focusing on limiting the range of motion to fatigue one's local muscle group. So week 1 dropped this past Friday, August the 2nd, and it consisted of a 20 minutes glutes and legs with Hannah, a 15-minute call with Ali, and a 30-minute 2-for-1 stretch with both of them. The progression form from week 1 to 2 to 3, where what they've said is that they kind of like to see it build as they go, week to week. As part of the program, there will also be a 60-minute 2-for-1 class coming up. So they seemed pretty excited about doing this together. It was kind of funny how Ali said, yeah, they kind of just got an email and said, you're going to have some more work to do, but we're doing this. But they're really cute together. As we know, they're both dancers. They've both been instructors doing these bar classes, since they were launched. And this is just another way for folks to actually have a dedicated program for bar classes, which is cool.
Thanks. Well, on the subject of unofficial programs, Andy Speer has created one mini program for members to complete in between his density strength training programs. It's called Density Deload, and this is to help your body recover, prepare for another full program or split strength program afterwards. So those unfamiliar, Andy currently has a number of strength training programs available. There's TS1, Total Strength 1, Total Strength 2, Density Training 1, and Density Training 2. And then he also has a split strength training program. So Density Training 2 is the most recently launched one, having just become available this past June. This new Density Deload plan from Andy is intended to be taken after completing the Density Training 2 program to deload and work on movements that members will not see in Andy's density program. So focuses include some rotational movements, lighter weights, body weight exercises. Andy has also curated a list of classes that are designed to be taken 3 days per week. The first 2 days call for 2 shorter classes intended to be stacked, and the third day is a 45-minute full body strength class.
Nice. And I guess we can throw that in RK's new split as well. When you're deloading from that. I did start that this week, and it is brutal. So I think after 4 weeks, Andy's deload program would actually be very, very useful and helpful. It's kind of cute how they both, probably collaborated together on doing something like
Writing
that.
Writing up their class plan side by side.
Yeah, I can kind of see them sitting on the sofa together. You're talking about, okay, I'm going to do this, and what about you doing that? So it's really
bouncing ideas.
Really cute. Well, as we mentioned last week, the August Artist Series was being kicked off with Kid Cudi. That was the first in the August Artist Series drops. The classes for Kid Cudi's Artist Series dropped this past Thursday, August the 1st. And there were 7 classes across 6 modalities with 1 class in German. There were 4 live classes, so a 20-minute body strength with Jess Sims, a 30-minute yoga flow with Kira Michelle, a 30-minute ride with Alex DeSant, and a 30-minute run with Camilla. Katie Wong also had a 20-minute row, which premiered, and Rad Lopez did a 20-minute shadowboxing class on demand. Cliff Dwenger got the German class, and that was a 30-minute ride, which premiered at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time in German. And that all happened on Thursday.
Nice. Well, Peloton will be back with more Carnival. Is it Carnival or Carnival?
Yeah, I think they do say Carnival. Yeah.
Carnival.
Yeah. These
more Carnival celebration classes this year. We already know about one upcoming because invites have already gone out for it, for some classes that will be filmed at Peloton Studios London later in August. So the one we know about that an invite went out to certain members was for Hannah Frankson's 30-minute Carnival celebration that's happening on Saturday, August 24th in London. So stay tuned for more classes, which I'm sure we'll share as soon as we have the details.
Nice. That's definitely her jam. She's gotten those classes over the years. She loves
and she loves to get the big, I know a couple of years ago, she had like the big outfit, like a peacock.
Yes.
She was blowing a
feathers
whistle
with all those feathers.
And
the towels that they all, very fun. Very fun. All right. Well, each week we like to share with you the past week's This Week at Peloton's lineup. So for this past week, July 29th through August the 4th, this is what was included. There were new scenic classes. Locations included Nara Park and Tenerife. They became available on demand on Wednesday, July the 31st at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Just a reminder, folks, that the scenic classes are only available on the Peloton hardware devices. So if you don't have a tread or a bike, you are unable to pull those classes. So just be aware of that. We also got a 10-minute 2-for-1 full body stretch with Ali Love and Hannah Corbin, which was available on demand on Friday, August the 2nd. And this class, as I mentioned in the previous story, was part of their new Set the Bar program. There are new Iconos Latinos classes in Spanish. They all dropped yesterday, Saturday, August the 3rd. Rad Lopez has a 30-minute upper body strength. Mariana Fernandez has a 30-minute yoga flow, and Camilla has a 30-minute ride. And then lastly, Mariana has a live 45-minute yoga power flow, which was just this morning, Sunday, August the 4th at 10:30 a.m. So those are this week at Peloton.
Good stuff.
And the news was pretty mild this week with very little.
Powering right through.
Summer and powering right through. So there is quite a little bit of instructor in the news stories to share with you guys. So John, kick it off.
Yeah, got a few quick hits. So Alex Toussaint is teasing some new running shoes from Puma. He just posted recently on Instagram. Looking at this shoe, it's kind of a white sort of mesh looking material. There's splashes of orange and light blue in the rubber area along the soles on the sides. But he reposted it with a little video holding it up in awe, and he's just said, keep dreaming, keep believing at Puma. So don't know any more regarding any potential release date, hopefully soon, because usually they like to tease these, when it's right around the corner.
Yeah, I'm wondering, and I'm stood to be corrected, but I know he was out in San Francisco last weekend.
Now he's in Paris.
I know he's in Paris, but I think he may have, I don't know if he gave away shoes or whether, I know I saw somebody posted a new Puma shoe. So maybe that was kind of the launch was last week when he was in San Francisco. Yeah, and then he was in Paris, and then he did a live class on Thursday. He's all over the place. So good for AT. Always love seeing him hustling. Well, Susie Chan, who is now back from being a admin for Badwater 135 this year, joined Hoka, and they had a run club event, which is actually today. It's August the 7th. It was at the Hoka store in Covent Garden in London. The event starts this evening at 6 p.m. and includes shoe trials, a group run, and a Q&A session with Susie. Attendees are able to test various Hoka shoes. They can participate in the 5K run, and then if they have their copy of Susie's new book, they are able to get those signed. Registration is required, and spots are available on a first-come, first-served basis, but there was no fee if folks wanted to head on to get to be part of that.
Cool. Well, former instructor Kendall Toole recently shared part of the reason why she left Peloton in some social posts on social media. Spoiler alert, she did not spill the tea. There wasn't really a whole lot of substance to that. It was very kind of, PC answer, which, you would think you would expect, because obviously they probably have some sort of NDAs in place and they're not really going to divulge, what we kind of want to, what we want to hear. So anyway, she was doing kind of an AMA, and one such question asked her, I'm sure you're going to address it, but why did you leave Peloton? And so she posted a video in response to that on TikTok initially before posting it on Instagram. But she stated there were two main reasons why she left. The first being was it was related to contract negotiations, we already know. And then a second being her feeling like it was time to evolve her career. So in the video, she went on and said, I left Peloton because it was time for contract negotiations, multitude of reasons. But the most important thing was I felt like it was just time for me to evolve in my career. I loved the 5 years I had there. I'm super grateful for it. I do miss teaching. So you can stay in one place, she said, and expect for things to change and happen for you. And I think I outgrew my shell. She said, so the hermit crab left that shell and is building and finding a new one. There you have it. So yeah, not a whole lot. I know a lot of folks were kind of like, there's nothing to this. Why are you even reporting this?
I agree. I mean,
a lot of people are kind of done
BS.
with reports on Kenny.
Yeah.
She's no longer with Peloton.
She's no longer with Peloton. Let's move on, find a new instructor to work out with. But I think what was interesting, which I kind of got out of that, was she says that, and yet look at all the instructors that have done so much outside of Peloton and are still with Peloton. I mean, Annie Love, Jess Sims, Robert Arzon. I mean, there's so AT, there's so much that these instructors are able to do. So there's definitely more to it. Clearly she, probably wasn't happy with the contract negotiation and decided to move on. I also think she was homesick. I know she liked being in California. Had always said she wanted to go back. But it was, the whole thing was kind of BS. And looking at the comments, everyone was kind of like, all right, enough already.
Then also that made me remember there was also this rumor mill swirling on the official Peloton member page. Someone posted a screenshot with chat about Kendall's classes being purged. So that spurred all these comments. People all worried, and all her content is still there.
Still there, very much
still there. So it hasn't been purged, but people just love to just start these crazy rumors.
Yeah. Move on, guys. All right. Emma Lovewell has shared that she has started her maternity leave. She recorded an IG post basically saying that she has recorded tons of classes on the bike, the mat, and the tread, and that they will all drop while she is out. So from us here at Pelo Buddy, we wish her so much luck and joy as she gets ready to bring her peanut into the world. Very exciting for Emma. And it was pretty awesome watching her, as the others have, but kind of really go until the very last minute. I mean, kudos to these, strong, fierce women that are able to continue to provide us with their instruction while they have carrying, this huge belly in front of them. So huge shout out to Emma and best of luck to her on the birth.
Nice. Well, Rad Lopez recently shared that he is running the NYC and the Berlin marathons. So keep an eye out for more from him as those two races near.
Yeah, and Tunde shared that she will be running Chicago Marathon. So I did not expect Tunde to get back out there after New York, but good for her that she, and I've seen a ton of training stuff that she's posted on socials. So she will be doing Chicago.
And that should be in October because they had the Chicago Marathon. It was the same weekend.
Second Sunday in October.
It was the same weekend in Chicago as the Peloton on tour stop.
Correct.
I believe when they were all out there for the Lululemon at the showroom, which brings me to, so it was just over a year ago since we had our first Peloton. Is it safe to say that's probably not happening this year?
It's, you took the words out of my mouth.
Issues.
I guess so, which is so disappointing because it was so amazing. But I'm assuming they're not doing it. But you're right. It was August. I remember hitting Atlanta, and such a fun time and such a wonderful community building opportunity. But I guess expensive for them to do. Perhaps.
Well, obviously with all the the money, as well the refinancing, and
well as no summer festival this year. We haven't seen any
All for One.
All for One. There's not none of that. They've dropped some of these audio summer celebration classes. John had a run or a walk. Maddie had a walk plus run. So they've dropped these summer celebration, they've been titled. But other than that, nothing specific.
Yeah. Well, I should probably assign this story to you because I know you are excited. But John Hosking,
should have.
John Hosking has returned to the tread, and he taught He's back. He taught his first run on Friday, August 2nd. He did a 30-minute EDM run, and he posted leading up to that class saying, "Who fancies going for a run on Friday?" He said, 30-minute EDM ride, 3 more sleeps, bring your best. So I'm sure you did that one. Or no, that was early. That was a 6 a.m.
It was a 6 a.m.
Yeah,
and I
did you
do
wake up?
it, and I celebrated 650 runs on that class. You know what? I was actually in New York. I'd gone to pick up my daughter, so got out really early, and before we hit the road to head back to Maryland, and got to celebrate. So did it outside, but absolutely,
Nice.
really excited for him. And good for him for listening to his body, taking the time to rehab. And he said he's like in really good shape. His ankle seems to be, knock on wood, 100% back to normal.
Was it an ankle sprain? Was that what?
Ankle, yeah. He had ankle issues, and that's when he pulled out of London Marathon. And so good for him for taking the time. We got tons of walking drops and some live walking classes. July was busy with tons of walking, but we're looking forward to having him back on the run schedule. So welcome back, Husky. And then, can you believe that the summer is almost over? Well, Jess Sims was back home in Massachusetts this past weekend, and she shared that with teachers heading back to school to start setting up their classrooms for the new school year, I can't believe that I'm even saying that she is continuing to partner with Staples to provide a 10% discount for all purchases on staples.com. Folks can use the code, and the code is 57536. Chris does have it up on the website. So if you are a teacher listening to the show and you want to use that discount, or if you're a parent going out to buy school supplies, you can use the code as well. It started now, and it will run through August the 24th. She said that folks can save on tons of classroom staples like crayons and colored pencils, classroom-sized boxes, pencil cases, notebooks, markers, Post-its, decor, and everything else that you can find on their website. Of course, she concluded by saying that, of course, we are all so grateful for all that our teachers do. And I can certainly say that now, having witnessed my son go through his first year as a teacher, and all that he put into this year, and just what an incredible experience he had, I do take my hat off to. I have a whole newfound respect. So good luck to all the teachers as they head back into the new school year.
Well, it's crazy to think that this past week, some folks already have gone back to school.
I know.
In the United States.
Isn't that insane?
Indiana and some other states are on a really weird schedule with their school. They end super early
and start
in May and start
Atlanta,
in August.
I think also. Atlanta had some schools go back as well. So
it's wild.
Crazy.
Well,
yes.
Rounding out the instructors in the news, Logan Aldridge was featured in Golf Magazine in a big spread. He posted all the pages in an Instagram post, and he said, "Honored to be featured in the Metropolitan Golf Association's magazine. Grateful for the opportunity and experience to play in adaptive tournaments, meet the community, and help grow the game. Everybody can move. Everyone can participate. Everyone can play golf. Let's go golfing." So you can check out more if you want to pick up a copy of Golf Magazine.
Nice. All right. We are going to go straight into picks of the week. I will kick it off.
Sure.
We had Rad Lopez's 30-minute Anita full body strength. That was the artist series that dropped at the end of July. This class was from July the 24th at 6 p.m. This pick came to us from Julie MJ. They said, awesome class, great program for runners, and great playlist too. And then Alex Toussaint's 30-minute hip-hop ride from the 26th. It dropped at 11:30 a.m. This one comes to us from Rachel Spins 24 and A. Mishenzi. They said, amazing energy and great playlist. And then my boy, John Husking's 45-minute pop walk. It was from the 26th It was 1 p.m. Eastern Time. This one came to us from my sweet friend Tracy C. She said, great playlist and looking forward to running with him again.
All right, next up, Jess King's 30-minute live DJ ride from July 26th. Mikey Runs said 2 words the Queen used to describe her own ride, dark and dirty. As usual, Jess and DJ John Michael have so much chemistry, and the crowd in the class had amazing energy. And then going over to the tread, Logan Aldridge's 30-minute 2000s run from July 27th. Sid Ness 99 and Rachel Spins 24 said so much fun and lots of high energy. Kira Michelle's 45-minute focus flow from the 27th. All Biz Liz said amazing for runners and riders with really accessible poses.
Nice. And then Justin Thompson Rule had a 20-minute 70s walk from the 28th at 7 a.m. This one also came to us from Tracy C. Tracy said, such great music, and Jocelyn is always the vibe. And then Mariana Fernandez, 60-minute rock run. It was on the 28th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I did that live. I did not do it on the tread, but I took it outside. And I'm not a huge rock fan. Mariana knows that. It was incredible. The playlist was fantastic. And I would actually like to do it again on the tread because I love the way she kind of split up. What Mariana does, which is really cool, is she kind of blocks her run, especially for a 60-minute. So there were kind of 3 different blocks that she did. This one came to us from Celestine, and she said the class structured paired with the beats of the music was perfect. It was such a pleasant surprise to hear her play rock hits that, and bear with me because there's more. There is not more. Chris must have missed
rock
out the last bit of it. Okay. Rock hits that hit. So that was a really cool class. And then Cliff Dwenger's 30-minute gloriously gospel ride. It was in German. It came to us from Allison 8699. It was from July the 28th. And she said, always a unique, fun experience.
Next up, Logan's 30-minute full body strength from July 28th. Nico 9822 said great challenging class. And then Christine Dierkeles, 45-minute Power Zone max ride from July 28th. Carly T22 said love these Power Zone max rides from Christine. And then Jeffrey McEachern's 45-minute pop run in German from July 29th. Tracy C said good structure, great playlist.
Nice. And then Serena Samuela had a 30-minute intervals run. It was from July the 29th at noon. This one came to us from Bertha C. Runs MD, and he said no heels, consistent structure, 3 minutes on, 1.5 minutes off, and every song was at 180 beats per minute. And then Tunde had a 30-minute intervals and arms ride on the 29th as well, also at noon. This one came to us from Shea Nation, and they said, Tunde always murders my arms, and I'm seeing great results. Love the 5-4-3-2-1 minute progression. The hardest off the bat is great. And then Cody Rigsby had a 30-minute hit and heels. Also the 29th, this one was from 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It came to us from Katie Gorgon, and they said, tough workout, kicked my butt.
All right. And then going over to Beck's 30-minute reggae run from July 30th. I actually took this one live. It was great. Patrick 707 said just a good run with good music. And then Rebecca Kennedy's Extra 10 triceps from July 31st. Annabelle Belassis and Rachel Sidney said great upper body day finisher. And then rounding out the picks of the week, Susie Chan's 45-minute tempo run from July 31st. Tracy C said this was a pace target class and had a great playlist.
And I'm going to throw one in there because I neglected to send it to Chris in time. But I do want to give a huge shout out to Chelsea Jackson Roberts. She had a 20-minute morning yoga flow this past Tuesday. I think that was the 30th, if I'm 29th. Maybe it was also the 29th. It was to the Bridgerton themed music, so kind of that classical quartet type beats, and it was just a really beautiful way to start the morning, and a great yoga flow. So I'll see if Chris can add it into the picks of the week, but that one was a really great yoga flow. So that rounds out the picks of the week, and a very quick show for you and me, John Pruitt.
Flew through it. Flying.
We flew through it.
I don't think we didn't banter it up enough.
We didn't banter it. And it was just very basic news this week. Nothing too exciting was happening in Pelo World. But as we said, I guess with the summer, things slow down, and things are slowing down. But you know that whatever there is for the week, kind of like to sum it all up and bring it to you in our Pelo Buddy
special
TV
way
and podcast. So as always, folks, we always appreciate you taking the time to listen. I will tell you that having done that, started RK's 3-day split, this new 45-minute, 3 days, I loved it. Could barely walk down the stairs on Thursday morning after having done legs on Wednesday. And then pushed, because I was in New York, I pushed day 3 to Saturday. But what an outstanding program. And huge shout out to Rebecca for that, because she really, you can just see she's put so much work into making this program something that folks can really do. And I'm loving to see the community come together. I mean, I had posted and, a couple girls reached out to me and said, hey, I'm doing it as well. Why don't we jump on together? So huge shout out to my friend, J.A. Bruin. And we did it together on Wednesday morning. And it was kind of fun, even though you're not in this room with someone, just knowing that somebody else is doing it at the same time that you're doing it and dying.
Yeah.
And we were kind of messaging each other.
Suffering together.
As we were. But yeah, great program. And I'm so glad, it's official. So we have it on, on the platform as an official program. But for those folks that are interested in, moving up on their strength journey, I have to say I'm really impressed with myself that I have continued with the strength journey this past year, and it's definitely showing. So, really proud of myself. So, come on, John. Got to see you. Want to see you on there. Got to see you on there. Still not using the guide. The guide, but at least I'm doing the strength. All right,
baby
folks.
steps.
Well, for me here, again, thanks for tuning in, listening, and we will see you next time. Bye for now, everybody.
And for me here in Michigan, appreciate you watching and listening. As always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag, and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.